Yo, you're listening to F.O.K.U.S Radio. What's going on, peoples? But we got a very special guest in the studio right now, Invincible.
What up, though? It's good to be here.
How did you get your start in Ann Arbor, rapping, doing your thing?
Basically, when I moved to Ann Arbor, I didn't speak any English, and a big part of how I learned the language was through listening to hip-hop, just trading tapes with friends, and basically writing down the lyrics, looking up the words in the dictionary. That's how I picked up the language. Mm-hmm. And then I basically transitioned from that to making my own rhymes up, and then writing songs, and then hitting up open mics, sneaking in the clubs, doing all that.
Right. I wanted to ask you about that, actually. I know Teddy Ruck-Spin was telling me a little bit of the Invincible folklore about about you sneaking into clubs, rapping. What was that about? How did you pull that?
I would get up on the open mics, like at certain spots that were all ages, or certain nights that would be all ages, and then I would get cool with the security, and then they would be like, okay, come at this time with the secret knock and the secret password, whatever it was, so that I would get in before they got their jobs compromised, and then cool. I would just make it happen for the non-all ages events, you know what I mean? But that got to be a pain in the ass as well. So some events, like, we would just take over abandoned buildings. Like, I think it's still abandoned up on Jackson Road. It's a hotel called the Michigan Inn. It's still abandoned. And my first show I ever did, we just put huge curtains over the front windows and just turned that whole hotel into a venue and took it over for my first show.
Wow.
And then
cool.
The other show, there's this building on 4th Street now. It used to be abandoned, and now it's like all like artsy-fartsy, like bougie art gallery in there or something. But it was abandoned, and we like had all our homies come in and spray graffiti in there, do murals, and then we just brought in the system and started throwing parties there. And then after that, other people kind of went with that, and then it became kind of like a, more upscale thing. But it all started out with just us doing shows because we were sick of having to sneak me into our own events.
Just to do it.
I also saw you just got back from CMJ in New York.
Uh-huh.
How was that for you? Like, what was it like out there connecting with other artists?
Man, CMJ was incredible. I got a great write-up, actually, in the Village Voice for the show I did, which was a huge honor.
Wow.
And then, like, the show I did last Tuesday was with Bling 47 and High Water Music, which is a dope radio show out in New York. Sucio Smash's radio show. He kind of took over the old Stretch and Bob show.
Right, yeah.
So that was really fresh. And then I did another event on last Thursday, and that was an event with a Iraqi artist from Montreal named The Narcissist. He's really dope. Y'all should check him out. And then Audio Pharmacy, who the main MC from them is Ross KD. He's a Native American from the Pomo tribe out in Cali, MC, and he just got back from a trip to Palestine, so there was like some youth from Brooklyn that performed and talk about connecting Brooklyn and Palestine. It was just a really, really dope event. And as far as like New York in general, that's like my second home. Like, my crew Anomalies is based out there, so I spent a few years there, and it's always an honor to be part of that musical community.
Right.
Yeah.
It was cool too to see that there's more like hip hop at CMJ this year. I know like it hasn't been like that in the past.
Definitely. Yeah, I mean, we starting to, like I said, build our own doors. I mean, a lot of the events that were CMJ events probably didn't get accepted as entries officially originally,
right.
But just through their own events, and then we're like, y'all better make this a CMJ event because we're about to have a bigger audience than your official event.
True.
So
right.
It doesn't look that good.
Right.
It's not official.
So we're about to get into one of my favorite songs from Invincible's album, Shapeshifters. This is Long Awaited, produced by the Lab Techs. So check it out, and we'll be back with Invincible.
Yeah.
Alright, so we're back live with Invincible. That was Long Awaited off the Shapeshifters album. And that was produced Lab Techs. Is that a Von T beat?
Yeah, Von T on that production.
Right. So I know you work with like a bunch of Michigan's best producers. Black Milk, Lab Techs.
YG is the main one. Yep,
Mm-hmm.
and Lab Techs. I grew up with all them.
Right. So are there any producers out there that you're looking forward to working with?
I mean, right now I'm working on a full-length project with YG, so I'm really excited about that. And then other than that, I mean, there's a ton of producers I would love to work with. I just like to have things happen like kind of naturally based off, just building and knowing each other and, having organic chemistry for, as opposed to like an industry situation. So I just kind of play everything by ear. Some people may not have the biggest name in the world, but they got the biggest beats. One of the cats that I connected with recently is Odyssey. I ran into him at CMJ. He's such a good dude. He's actually working on a full length right now with Finale. So I'm excited about that project, and I would definitely love to work with him again in the future. Yep.